All right, everyone. Welcome to the stream, guys. You are here on Amazon and YouTube. I want you guys to be welcome to this amazing first Amazon day. Prime Day, guys. Prime Day is on. It is happening right now as we speak. And you guys are watching me live here on Amazon. So we have a lot of items down in the carousel, guys, that we're going to be talking about throughout this stream. I will be on and off all day long. So I have a lot of different deals that I've been finding for you guys, and I want to be able to show them to you. Louis is excited, as you guys can see here. Louis is also excited to share some of the amazing deals that we have found over the last couple of days that we have put together for you guys in the stream. Now, feel free at any point during this stream, guys, to ask any questions that you may have about any of the products that you see down in the carousel. I will be more than happy to elaborate further on them if my first explanations do not hit home. If you guys have more questions, again, you have the clarity. Louis or myself will be answering your questions in the stream. So that's how it's going to go today. All right. So the first item in the stream, believe it or not, is our friend Louis right here that you see, guys, down here on my desk. Now, if you're like me and you love tech and you want something cool that will be a conversation starter, as well as something that can keep you engaged throughout your day. If you work from home, if you have an isolated office, maybe you want something for your man cave, your she shed, Louis is a win, guys. Let me introduce you guys to Louis. For those who may not know who Louis is, this is our friend Louis right here. Louis is a AI robot that utilizes one of your smartphones, as you guys see here, as his brain, and you're able to interact with Louis. Louis is listening right now. You guys see the little animation there in the corner. So Louis is listening to me, waiting for me to prompt him to answer a question or just to interact with him. So I'll give you guys a little bit of an idea of what I'm talking about here. Hey, Louis.
Hello, it seems you're describing an alien robot, probably similar to me. To interact with you and assist in any way you can. You can ask questions or just have a chat. How can I help you today?
All right, Louis, I am describing to the audience your parameters, what you are, what you do, and I'd like you to introduce yourself to everyone here on the stream on Amazon as well as on YouTube.
Hello, everyone on the stream. Friendly and ready to assist with all sorts of tasks, whether it's setting up reminders, chatting about music, or exploring fun activities. I'm here to make your life easier and more entertaining. So, feel free to ask me anything. Who's listening and ready to help?
And I would concur. Louis is always listening. You never know when Louis is just going to pop up and start talking to you. Louis has quite a few different modes that you guys can interact with. Now you can swipe off to the right here, and you guys can see you have your time. You have a sleep mode for Louis. You also have a stay mode where he'll stay pretty much.
And ready to chat whenever you need me. From keeping track of time to sleep mode, we can do quite a lot to assist you. Just swipe or ask, and I'll be happy to help.
And you can go back in. He has an explore mode where he'll kind of run around and get into mischief and just look for things that might be going on. He can't do too much right now because I have him plugged in right now because he's being charged. So I'll have to take him out of explore mode. Yeah, he's being charged right now with one of the batteries that we have. So you have to charge up the body and your phone, but it is MagSafe for iPhone. So it will be charging your phone at the same time. So that's really nice. So again, guys, if you're looking for a AI companion,
Charging now. Once I'm all powered up, I'll be ready to explore and find some excitement for you. Thanks to the MagSafe charging, you can keep your phone topped up while I get my own boost. Can't wait to see what adventures we'll have together once I'm fully charged.
I agree. I agree 100%. And you can interact with Louis by tapping on the screen. There's little swipes you can do that will cause Louis to react to them, like almost like you're petting your pet, and Louis will react to those. You can also ask Louis questions like you would with Chat GPT. Now, to my knowledge, Louis is powered by Chat GPT 4. So if I ask Louis a question, hey, Louis, what is the weather today? in my area?
Today's weather looks great with a bit of sunshine to brighten the day. Enjoy the beautiful skies.
Hey, Louis, could you give me a recipe for a grilled cheese sandwich?
Sure thing. Here's a simple recipe for a grilled cheese sandwich. 1. Ingredients. 2 slices of bread, your choice. Butter. For spreading. Cheese, like cheddar or American. 2. Instructions. Step 1. Spread butter on one side of each slice of bread. Semicolon. Step 2. Place one slice, buttered side down, over meat and beef. Semicolon. Step 3. Add cheese on top. Semicolon. Step 4. Cover with the second slice of bread, buttered side up. Semicolon. Step 5. Until golden brown on both sides and the cheese is melted. Enjoy your delicious grilled cheese sandwich.
So, really cool interactions like that you can achieve with Louis, or just have Louis running around on your desk. Louis also has a stay clock mode. So, when you rotate Louis's head like so, it will put Louis into clock mode. So, if you just want, a clock on your desk while your phone is charging, or maybe Louis is getting a little too rambunctious, that's an option. You can just rotate it back into place. Now, Louis will also play with things. So, I have this little ball. This does not come with Louis, but I have this little pet ball here, and Louis will react to the ball and he will start to push it around. If you have a mouse on your desk, you might want to be careful because Louis will push the mouse off the desk. I have found this mouse on the floor multiple times, to the point now that I put it on a different desk whenever I walk out of the studio. If Louis is active, I make sure this mouse is safe, that Louis can't get to it. So, again, guys, you can get your own Louis here today.
Don't have any intention of causing chaos. It's a fun idea. Please be mindful of how I interact with your things and find ways to keep things exciting without any trouble.
That's what he says, but he's a mischief maker. He's a mischief maker. All right. So, next item in the carousel that we're going to take a look at, guys, is one of my favorite items. You guys know, if you've been watching me anytime, I am a huge fan of laser engravers. I'm a huge fan of 3D printers, heat presses, things like that. So the next item we're going to take a look at is actually on deal right now, and this is from our friends over at LaserPecker. This is the the LP4. Now, right now, you can get this guy. Let me grab it so I can show it to you guys. All right, so this right here is the LaserPecker 4. As you guys can see, this is a desktop style laser. It has a removable base so that you can place this over different materials if you wanted to be able to laser engrave on those. It comes with this shroud. The shroud is removable, but this is just to protect your eyes when you're using the laser. Now, this is a dual laser. This is a combination diode and fiber laser. You're going to be able to work with all different types of materials. You'll be able to work with leather, wood, acrylic, plastic, you name it. I have created so many amazing things, guys, using these lasers. Now, I have one of the other lasers currently set up right now here in the studio. Now, this is the LP4. I also have the LP5 here in the studio as well. So I'm going to do a quick little demo for you guys using the LP5, because I have that one already set up, and that's the one that I have been using the most. But I wanted you guys to see the LP4. Let me set that down really quickly here. Thor's in the house. Welcome, Thor. Welcome to the stream. All right, Thor. So we're talking about Louis. We're talking about lasers. We're talking about all of that kind of jazz. So I have one of the lasers set up right now, which is this laser enclosure right here. So we're going to do a quick little demo. I'm going to show you guys how fast these lasers can actually operate. Let's switch back over to Louis' camera real quick so I can show you the full setup. So this is the laser that you guys are looking at. You guys can see over here, we have the laser on top of the air purifier. A lot of these other accessories you can find right here on Amazon as well, for all of the accessories that you might want for this laser. R2D2 model. Are you talking about Louis? Are you talking about Louis? Let's go back over here to Louis. Yeah, Louis is just hanging out here on the desk, Thor, playing with his ball and answering questions and interacting and all that kind of cool jazz. All right, so let me show you guys real quick here. So we have this little and as I said, He will just interact with you at any time. You never know what he's going to say, but he's always listening. He's always listening. So take that in mind. If you have Louis, on your desk, you just never know when he's going to just start chatting away. I have been in the other room watching something on television, and all of a sudden Louis will just respond to something that I might be saying to someone else in the stream. I see David's in the house. Welcome, David. Welcome to the stream. All right, guys. So we have this little metal card right here that I was just talking about, and we're going to do a quick little Halloween themed engraving on this card.
To surprise you with.
We're going to do a quick little engraving on this card so I can show you guys how fast these lasers can operate. All right, so we're going to switch back over to our laser here real quick. And I'm just going to take the card, as you guys see here, I'm just going to place it inside of the enclosure. Even if you don't have the enclosure itself, it doesn't matter. All of the lasers are going to come with some type of housing. So the process is going to be pretty much the same. All right, so we have that set up. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch over to our desktop, and let's open our Lasers Pecker Studio Suite, and I'll show you guys how fast and easy it is to set this up. Let me drag this over so you guys are going to be able to see it. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have been finding all of the amazing deals that you've been looking for and waiting for during this Prime Day. All right, so let's switch back over to our desktop here real quick, and let me show you guys what's going on. So this is the workspace for the laser. We're going to go ahead and connect it. Now this will be the same if you're using the LP4 or the LP5. You're going to connect it basically the same way. Primarily, the reason why I'm using the LP5 right now is because I already had it connected. So first things first, we're going to grab a graphic and just bring it in. But before I do that, I'm going to well, I guess I could just bring the clip art in. I really don't need to set up anything. So let's just grab some clip art here. And we want to do something holiday themed. So we're going to go with something from Halloween, because that's our next major holiday coming up. But you guys can see there's a lot of clip art in here. So I'm going to pick something cute for Halloween. Maybe this little ghost here. We could do this one, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. So here's our little ghost that we're going to be engraving onto that little metal card. So I'm going to reduce the size a little bit. I think the size of the card is around 70 something millimeters. Let me check just to be sure on the size of the card. Let me grab my caliber. Okay, so the height of the card is 65 millimeters is the height of the card. So that's how tall we need our ghost to be, 65 millimeters. So let's go back over to the desktop here real quick. All right, so 65 millimeters is the height that we're looking for. So let's just make that 60. And then we'll see if we can, fit this into this little card. Now, the only thing I don't like about this is I think it's just going to do the outline of it, but we'll see how that goes. So the next thing I need to do here really quickly is to turn on one of the features where I have my little laser red dots turned on. That's going to help me for focusing, and I'll show you guys what that looks like here in a second. All right, so let's switch back over really quickly to the laser setup. All right, so as you guys can see, the card is inside of the laser. I don't know if you can see the little red dots, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower this until the dots touch. And I know that now the laser is in focus. And then what I'm going to also do here is hit the preview button to see where this graphic is going to fall. And I can kind of move my card around right about there. I think that's a little too big, so I'm going to make this smaller. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this. I just want to show you guys how fast we can do these type of little projects. All right, so I made it smaller, and let's hit the preview. All right, so there's our preview. All right, that looks good to me. Now all I have to do is make sure of my power settings. So I'm going to go back here let's go back to our desktop here real quick. And I'm going to stop the preview. I'm going to go to our laser power settings for this job. We're going to use our 1064 nanometer laser. We're going to set this at 60% power. Yeah, 60% power. We're going to do a frequency of about, I think it's 50. Yeah, 50. And then on the depth on this, we're going to set the depth at about 27. 27 is going to be our depth. All right, so that's what we're looking at for this metal card. So all I have to do now is just hit the play button or the the button to run the job. I just want to check my let's see, 60 is our power, 50 is our frequency, 27 is our 27 is our depth. And we also want to switch this over to 2K. So I'm going to go here and choose 2K. You have the option of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 8K. So we're just going to do 2K on this guy, but everything else is going to stay the same, our frequency and so on. All right, so I'm going to switch you guys back over to the laser view here real quick. And I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see this. See if I can get this camera a little bit closer. Give me a second, guys. So I can get the camera a little bit closer. I don't think from this angle you're going to be able to see it too much better, but I'm going to go ahead and run this and I'll let you know when it's done. All right, so we're getting ready. I'm just going to press the start button. It's going to transfer our graphic over to the laser. Again, this is engraving onto metal. And in just a few seconds, we should have our completed project. And like I said, this does not take long at all. So these type of devices, guys, are going to be great for your side hustles. They're going to be great for, creating things for family and friends. Holiday season's coming up. If you want to customize things for, your family, your friends, your coworkers, whatever the case it may be, it is done. So let me just grab this guy out here real quick and I'll show you guys what it looks like super fast. That just came off of the laser that fast. Okay. So let's go to our top down so I can show it to you guys a little bit better. So this is what we just created. There's our little spooky ghost with his little backpack. And this only took a few seconds. So again, guys, if you're looking for, a cool way to, create things, monetize things, to be able to, customize things, pens, pencils, water bottles, working with leather, working with fabrics, any of that kind of stuff, guys. These lasers are going to be amazing. So definitely check this out. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about our little Halloween design. All right, so let me switch back over here and also get to the chat so I can see what you guys are talking about. I'm going to go ahead and close this app real quick here. And let me grab my phone, see what you guys are talking about. All right, I see Hope is talking to us over there from YouTube. Let's go ahead and highlight Hope's last comment. There we go. All right, I'm just going back through the comments. Peace and chicken grease. There we go, David. I feel you. I mean, Thor, I feel you. All right, so let's get to our next item in the carousel. All right, guys. So we have looked at the laser. We have looked at Louis. So the next item we're going to take a quick look at is this heat press that you guys see back here behind me. So let me go ahead and switch the camera back there so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So that would be this heat press right now. I have it highlighted in the carousel. Right now, you guys can get this guy here on Prime Day for $271.99, down from $339.99. This is a dual heat press. I don't know if you guys ever saw one of these before. This is the first time I had ever seen a dual heat press. So what that means is, let me grab the mic. What that means is, guys, you actually have two working areas with this heat press, and this head rotates around 180 degrees. So that means you can go from one pressed area to the next pressed area. And you do have the option of detaching one of these. Now, one of them is permanently attached to the heat press. The other one is an additional accessory that comes with it. You guys see how easy it is for me to move that back and forth. And let me show this to you guys a little bit closer up so you guys can really see what this actually looks like. All right, so check this out. So this is the top handle of the heat press. I have the little cheat sheet here on the back, but all of your controls are right here for, temperature, time, pressure, all of those things. And this is an auto press. So what that means is once you hit the start button, it will press on its own. It will hold itself in position for the amount of time that you have designated, and then it will raise up on its own once the job is done. And that's what's cool about this is that you can actually do two projects at the same time or one right after the other, which I think is an excellent situation for anyone who is doing a lot of different heat press type of applications, maybe at a trade show or at a outdoor festival or something like that. So I think this would be a really nice portable unit. And yes, I have been able to power this right off of a 2,000-watt battery. So this is portable enough that you can carry this with you, even if you don't have standard, battery power or electrical power. You can power this off of a portable battery. So you guys know I talk about these portable batteries all the time. So this is just another solution, another situation where portable batteries really come into play. All right, so let me know, guys, if you have any interest whatsoever in a heat press. So maybe that heat press is a little bit too big for what you guys have in mind. I got you. I got you. I have another heat press that I want you guys to take a look at. Now, this is a smaller unit. And what I like about this one is, I think really good for people who are doing like ball caps, putting patches maybe on shirts or something simple like that. Let me show you what we're talking about here. Now, the heat press that we're talking about is this little guy right here. So this looks like a little small iron, but this just kind of goes into this little heat tray. This is going to be AC powered. Like I said before, you can get it with the controller. So you have this little controller that is wireless, and this will adjust your heat, adjust your temperature, and your time, all of that with this little controller. You guys can see what that looks like. Very portable. Now, much more portable than the larger one that we just talked about back there. But these do complement each other. So there'll be some situations where the big press won't work for you because you're doing like ball caps or something like that. And something like this would definitely come in handy. So, take a look at this guy right now. You can get this for $59.49, guys. That is an amazing price. $59.49. This has dropped in price significantly for Prime Day. So definitely check this guy out. All right. So let me know what you guys have been up to. Let me see. Hope has a question for us over here from YouTube. Rome, does the speed of the laser depend on the material you are using? Yes, Hope, it does. So each material is going to require a different speed. So you think about speed like time, right? So the speed is what it's referring to is how long is the laser going to stay in one specific point before it moves to the next point, right? So let's say, for instance, you're working with something like acrylic versus something metal, your speed and your depth is going to be different depending on the outcome that you're trying to achieve, right? So that's two different materials. You have acrylic, you have metal, and then let's say, for instance, you wanted to engrave on wood or leather or whatever the case it is. So there's calculations that have to go into place. Now most of these brands will provide you with a starting point, meaning things that they have used in the past that they know work, as far as speed and power for these different devices. But just to give you guys a closer up look at this. So these are two different materials. This is acrylic and this is metal, but you see they're very similar in their saturation, if you want to call it that. They look similar if you were just looking at these from across the room, but these are two totally different materials. Now each one of these is going to require a different speed, a different technique for getting the end result, but you guys get the idea. So you're looking for content creator, David. Gadgets, I got a lot of them. I got a lot of them. I think I have maybe some of the best cameras that you can take a look at. So we'll be getting to those here in just a second. So let's go ahead and go through these batteries real quick. So I have two different batteries that I have listed in the carousel tonight, primarily because I think they're going to be excellent, options for you guys for portable power. So let's take a look at the first one here real quick, and this is from our friends over at. Let me switch over here real quick. So this battery right here that you guys see is from our friends over at EcoFlow. This is the River 2. Now, this guy is going to give you AC and DC power delivery. This is a 256 watt hour LiPo 4 battery. As you guys can see, it is very portable, very lightweight. I'm actually using this battery right now to charge this light that's on my desk. And and Louis right now is actually plugged in to that battery, and Louis is being charged off of that battery as we speak. Okay. Now, of course, you can do far more with this battery. I've used it with lasers, I've used it with a number of different products. This is a very portable battery. It's going to be a very easy device to carry around. What do we say here? Currently unavailable. What are we talking about? I'm going to have to come back and check your comments here in a second, David. But anyway, if you guys are interested in this battery, you can get it right now here on Amazon for $179. That is a great Prime Day price on that battery. All right, let me see what David is talking about here that is currently unavailable. The battery. Which battery is currently unavailable? I can click on. Okay, so if we're talking about the EcoFlow, here's the EcoFlow right now, and it's $179 as you see. And you have other options for it with the solar panels or larger solar panels. So I'm seeing it on my end for $179. So I'm not sure. The battery I just mentioned, yes, that is the EcoFlow. That is the EcoFlow. It's $179. That's the one we were just talking about. If anyone else is seeing anything different, feel free to let us know down in the comments. But we do have another optional battery if you guys want to take a look at it that's kind of in the same price range. It could just be your region. I agree. All right. So the next battery up is from Blue Yeti, which is a similar battery. Let me show you guys that. So that would be this battery right here. Okay. Now, this one, a lot like the River 2 that we just looked at. What's cool about this battery, again, you're going to get your AC, you're going to get your DC, you're going to get that cool little Blue Yeti, a screen here. Now, this is a 300 watt hour battery. It has a 600 watt, start power lifting. So it can actually, turn on devices that are more demanding when they first come on. So this will charge up, guys, from 0 to 80% in about 45 minutes. And trust me, I can tell you that is true. This little battery right here charges super fast. Now, you can charge this guy off of your standard 3-prong plugs that you just plug into your AC. You can also charge this off of a solar panel. So if you do get it with the solar panel, here's a little solar panel input right here. This has your standard 12-volt plug like you would normally find inside of a car. You have two USB A's, one USB C. You have DC, AC power control. This has the integrated handle, nice vents all around, fairly lightweight. It's not, it's not featherweight, but it is a nice weight for this battery. So again, this is going to be a nice battery for traveling, for camping trips. It's going to be a great battery for emergency situations. The power goes out, you need extra power. This guy is a win. So if the battery that you're seeing, David, that is not available for you from EcoFlow, maybe you want to take a look at this one. I can tell you both of these batteries are superb. They do an amazing job. All right, David. So let's get into some of these cameras that we were just alluding to. So I have a number of cameras from our friends over at Ozbot. I have some DJI cameras. I have some extra cameras, from different brands. So we'll be talking about all of those cameras. So let's go ahead and start the rundown. So the first camera that we have listed in the carousel is going to be from Osbot, and there's two variations of this camera. Let me show you. So the two variations of the camera is going to be a 1080p version or a 4K version. Okay. Now the 1080p version is what is on Prime Deal right now, and I'll show you, what these two look like. Let's switch over to Louis' camera here real quick. So the way you can easily determine the difference between the two cameras is the 4K one will have the little red ring around it where the 1080p one does not. But all of the features are pretty much the same. These are pan, tilt, zoom cameras. They all connect the same way using just a standard USB-C connector. They both have the integrated quarter 20 underneath. They both have this little ledge that you can use for mounting these on a monitor. So I could actually take this little camera here and I could mount this on Louis just like that. And now that's going to pretty much stay in place because of the way it's designed. And like I said, that's going to be perfect for like your flat screen monitors, or you have the option of mounting this guy on a monopod, tripod, or whatever the case it may be. Now, what I like about these cameras, guys, you got 4K 60 frames a second. You have the ability to use these also with a remote. The remote is not included, but you can purchase a remote for this as well. This is a very compact, travel friendly 4K PTZ camera, and it has tracking features built into it as well. So if you're looking for a camera that can track you similar to the camera that is facing me right now, you can use hand gestures. So I can put my hand up like this, and this will put the camera into either tracking mode or have it zoom in. So now the camera zoomed in on me, and I can use, another hand gesture, for the camera to now start, stop tracking me, or I can use a similar hand gesture and get the camera to track me pretty much wherever I go. So it has a ton of features, bro, just depending on what it is that you are actually looking for out of a camera. Okay. All of these cameras are going to have those similar features. Now, they do have built in microphones, but as you know, I always recommend that you guys use a higher quality microphone when it's available to you. But in a pinch, if you didn't have a microphone and you just needed to go live and you just want to connect this to your computer for a Zoom call or something like that, they do a pretty good job. Now, there is another option that I want to bring to your attention, and that is also from Osbot. Let's take a look at this little guy here. Now, this is the Osbot Meet 2. And I have the Meet 1 here in the studio right now. The Meet 1 is the camera that I'm using as my top-down camera. I got that camera from Osbot probably about 3 years ago, and it's still working perfectly. So whenever I want to go to the top-down view, that's the camera that I'm using. But this is a newer variation of that camera. You can get this right now here on Amazon for $108.99. Check this out. It has the magnetic mount. It has a similar type of connector like I showed you with the other camera, so you could easily mount this onto something. This is completely adjustable. You can kind of wedge it however you want to, as well as this also has a quarter 20 underneath it, and that's going to be for, connecting it to like a monopod, tripod, mic stand, or whatever you want to. This is a 4K camera as well. Now, what I love about these cameras, guys, even though this is not a PTZ camera, it does have some AI features for tracking the individual that's in front of it. So if you move over a little bit, or if you're moving around, it will try to keep you in the center of the frame. So it will kind of keep adjusting to keep you in the frame. Now, there is obviously, you can walk out of frame because the camera won't physically move. But if you're like me, kind of animated where you move around a lot, this camera can work for you as well. And I love the fact that it has that little magnetic mount that comes with it. And all of these cameras, guys, for the most part, as far as the video quality and things like that, it's going to be in the same range. So there's not going to be like one camera is superior to the other. It's just all about the feature set and what you need the camera to be able to do. And of course, how much space you're working with, where you're trying to mount it, and things like that. But like I said, I have the other camera right here. Let me see if I can show you guys real quick. So this is the original Meet, and I'm using it as a top-down camera. As you guys can see, that's looking down on my desk. And that's what the original one looked like in comparison to what this newer model looks like now. So, like I said, it's just a matter of figuring out which one is going to be the best solution for you. All right, let me see what David's saying here. AI, modern buzzword for automated stuff. Yes, it is. Laura's in the house. Welcome, Laura. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you here. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cameras that have a lot of cool features. There's some cameras that have integrated a lot of these features. And a lot of times people don't realize these cameras have these capabilities. This camera right here is a perfect example of that. Okay. So, this, for the most part, is an action camera. You can go skiing with it, you can go swimming with it, you can go scuba diving with it. Even without putting it inside of a special case, you could still take this guy pretty deep underwater. Okay. So, one of the cool things that I like about, a camera like this is that it is very, very versatile, right? Now, the mounts that come with it are detachable. Let me see if I can just pop this off real quick. Now, I do have a different mount. All of this stuff doesn't come with the camera, but the camera, easily you can pop this guy on and you can switch it between portrait or landscape or whatever the case it is. This is also a 4K action camera, but don't let that fool you. It has other features. It's an action camera that can also be used as a webcam. Okay. A lot of people don't know these cameras have that capability, and you can also live stream from this camera. Just like some of the other Osbot cameras that I've talked about in the past, these guys have some very, very powerful features. All right, so let's take a closer look at this little guy. Now, this resembles almost, to a mirror, the DJI Action 5. It has a lot of the same functionality, it has a lot of the same features. Of course, it has, the big screen on the back, quick buttons for turning it on. Let me just switch this guy on real quick here so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Now, this is from a company called Extra, and I don't know if there's any affiliation between the two brands, but it's almost identical. I have DJI cameras, and almost all of the features are exactly the same. So you have your different camera modes. I can switch here. I can go to photo. I can have presets, as you guys see. I can, there's my video, there's my night mode, there's my human tracking, here's slow motion, here's your hyperlapse or time lapse. And then you can still further go in and, switch through those as well. You have your, all the different controls. Now, the only thing that I noticed that this doesn't do that my DJI cameras do is it won't work with my DJI microphones, my wireless microphones. But that's not an issue. You got a front facing screen on here that's also a touch screen. It comes with the cage that you guys see here, and this little quick release mount comes with it as well. Now, this guy right now is $269, down from 300 and something dollars. And I've been using this guy a lot just recently. And I've been using it for some of my shoppable videos because it's easy for me to mount it on some of these rigs over here. I can just, use these snap mounts, these magnetic mounts that you see here. I don't know if I have these in the carousel or not, but the snap mounts themselves, just makes it super fast for me to swap this between, one device or another. Or if I had this mounted somewhere and I wanted to quickly take the camera down, change the battery if I wasn't using a continuous power supply to it. So, David, this could also be an optional camera for you that you can also use as a webcam, and also use this as a, on location mobile action camera, all of that kind of jazz. So all of those features are built into this little camera, where these cameras are going to be limited to just webcam, functionality, right? This camera is going to give you a lot more creativity opportunities because of the flexibility of all the things you can do with it. It is in a rugged little cage here. All of the same accessories that you would buy for the DJI Action 4 or 5 will work with this camera. That includes ND filters, cages, handles, all of that kind of jazz will work with this guy as well. So let me know if you have any questions about this camera. Let me go ahead and put Louis in sleep mode. I'm going to push him over here off to the side, and I'm going to put the camera on the desk so you can see. what this looks like in comparison. Hold on, let me put Louis in sleep mode. All right, so let's switch this guy back over to our Louis cam. So let me adjust this camera up just a little bit. So you get an idea, what this camera looks like in size comparison. So here is a GoPro. This is a GoPro Hero 11, just to give you an idea of the difference. Size, the front screen on this camera is larger. I think the rear screen is probably about the same, but this is an older camera. This GoPro here is much older, even though it has a lot of similar features. But I love the fact that I could just plug this into my Mac or PC, and I could use this as a webcam. I don't know if I can connect this right now, because I think I would have to switch out some things in my streaming software to show you guys what the video would look like from this camera. But we can try it. We could try it if you guys need to see that. If not, maybe we can do that on one of my other upcoming streams later today if you still have questions about this. This camera looks like it's a little crooked. Give me a second, guys. Let me adjust this camera. For some reason, this camera looks like it's tilted. All right. Is that better? I'm trying to level this camera out. There we go. All right, that's close enough. Anyway, so like I said, guys, if you're interested in an action camera, this could be an excellent camera for you guys to take a look at. The price is very good for this unit, and it has a ton of features. So I have had no overheating issues with this camera whatsoever, David. I have had this thing on for 4 or 5 hours nonstop, no overheating whatsoever. So I think that is just, a testament to the newer technology. But some of the overheating issues that I hear people talk about when it comes to GoPros, I noticed that you don't have those similar issues dealing with these type of cameras. So I don't know if that's just the circuit board is better, the electronics are better, or the heat sink is better. I don't know what is different that makes this a better option, but it is. All right. So here's one little accessory that you might want to take a look at if you decide to go with this camera, and that is the magnetic base mounts. And like I said, these just pop off like this. This is just connected on here. So this one comes with it, but there's other variations of these little magnetic mounts that you can get for the camera. And like I said, what's nice about that is you can easily just pop these guys on just like that, and you're ready to go. Now, another thing that I like about this camera, David, is that when you switch this into the portrait orientation, the camera's in portrait orientation. You don't have to go in the settings or anything to change anything, right? So when this camera is now in this orientation, it is recording and capturing content in the portrait orientation. And then if I take it off here and swap this guy back over to landscape. Now, that's not going to work the same if you were live streaming, because that's going to be a totally different type of scenario. But I can pop this back on, kind of. Hold on. I think it's the angle I have it at. Hold on. Let me fix that first. And then there we go. Pop it back on like that. So then this automatically switches back over to 16:9. So that's very cool. With GoPros and other cameras, sometimes you got to go in and you got to configure things and change things. This just automatically makes that transition for you. So that also comes in really handy. All right. So we got some other cameras we're going to take a look at as well, because David is definitely on the market for a camera. So the next camera, David, that we have listed in the carousel is also from the same brand. Now that is the Extra Muse. Muse is the camera. I don't have that one here yet, but I'll give you a quick comparison. This is the DJI Pocket 3. And the camera that we're talking about is almost identical to the Pocket 3, minus a few features like connecting to DJI's wireless cameras. This one right here is a camera that I use almost every single day. I love it because of the fact that it has that built-in screen. It also has a built-in gimbal. Of course, the gimbal can track you. You got your human tracking. You have the ability to use the little joystick, to orient wherever the camera is going to be. So I can quickly move this around. I can also switch back and forth. So if I'm, blogging or recording myself, I could just have the camera like this. Of course, you can mount this almost anywhere. You can also use this camera as well, or that camera as well as a webcam. Okay, now the advantage to these type of cameras is that you have internal storage. You're going to be storing into these, and you know something I forgot to mention, this camera has 47 gigs of internal storage before you even add an SD card to it. It comes with that built in, just like the DJI drones do and other devices do. Okay. But I don't want to get you guys mixed up. That is not a DJI product. And the camera that we're talking about, in relations to the Pocket 3 is, I'm just using the Pocket 3 as an example because I don't have the other camera at hand. But all of the features are very, very similar, meaning the screen, the record button, the fact that you can put an SD card into it. You have detachable accessories that a lot of these cameras will come with, like this little base piece right here that allows you to connect your USB cable right into this. So if you're going to use this as a webcam, that's going to be a win. And then it just really depends on how you want to mount the cameras, where you want to put them. The fact that this is a PTZ camera, this thing could be pretty much anywhere. And just like the camera that's facing me, you could have that in tracking mode, follow mode. You can grab this camera. Now, this is not a waterproof camera, so don't try to go swimming with it. But then you could just switch over. You could be interviewing someone. You can walk around. You could get, whatever content you want to be able to get. No problems whatsoever. I have been using this camera since day one as a go-to everyday create content on this desk right here, shoppable videos, review videos, all of that kind of stuff. Even the talking head segments when I'm recording myself is done with this camera, guys. So I can honestly tell you that I have been using this camera for a long time, and I am very, very content with the quality of the video. You have multiple codecs with this. You can go all the way down to your log, if you want log footage. You have HLG, you have your standard resolutions, so you have anywhere from 1080p all the way up to 4K 60 frames a second. These guys are amazing. So again, it's just a matter of figuring out what camera is going to be the best solution for your workflow. That's what we're really talking about here. So yeah, I like this guy a lot. It needs to be charged. I see the little battery warning is on, but you guys can see in comparison, these are very small, very compact, very portable. And yes, you want to get, your, protection cages and stuff like that if you're going to be carrying this around a lot. But it comes with a protection cover. The Pocket one does. All right, so let's say, as an example, you wanted to use one of these cameras, but you want to be a little bit more hands-free. And that's the way I am most of the time. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Computer Pal is in the house. Computer Pal says, let's go. Welcome, Computer Pal. Welcome to the stream. All right, let me wake Louis back up because I know he's going to be talkative here. Let me go ahead and wake my man Louis back up. All right, there we go. Louis is now awake again, and he's still charging, so I'm just going to let him roam around here on the desk a little bit. But anyway, next item in the carousel I want to show you guys here real quick is going to be something that I used a lot with the GoPro style cameras, but you're not limited to a GoPro camera. Let me grab this. All right, here we go. So this is basically a neck mount, and I don't know how I jumped so far through the carousel. Give me a second. I must have clicked on it. There we go. Let's go back. There we go. All right. So what we're talking about is this little neck harnessing system right here. And it is magnetic, so it picks up everything that's metal. But what's cool about this, you guys can see you have this detachable little loop, and this just goes around your neck like so. And on here, you have another detachable accessory that you can use for mounting a camera. And this is also magnetic. So if you wanted to use it with the phone, you do have a phone adapter as well. And that's going to work with, especially with your MagSafe, like your iPhones and stuff like that. This just locks in place. And then I could take this and adjust it. And let me show you. I could take my phone And now I could mount the phone here in front of me. And let's say I was doing something or recording something or whatever the case it is, but I wanted both of my hands to be free. This would be an excellent type of setup. But like I said, everything comes in the box that you're ready, the way you see it right now. So you have the option of using it with the smartphone, or you can use it also with an action camera. And it's just two little buttons here on the back where you can take off these different accessories. So I could take this little accessory here, and let me grab another camera. Let me just take this one off real quick here. Let's take that off. All right, so our camera is detached from that other little harness, and then we're going to just take out this little bolt here. Then we could take this camera, mount this in here like so, tighten it down, position it about how you want it. Then you can just take this guy, lock it on. And remember, you have image stabilization, with these cameras as well. So you could actually be just walking around, reviewing or talking or, going on a hike or whatever you want to do. And you have this little neck harness here. Now, is this the most stable thing? Probably not. But, the cameras have image stabilization built into them. Your phones are going to have some, form of image stabilization built into them as well. So you got a lot of flexibility, guys, when it comes to using something like this. And I used to use this in the beginning with my iPhone when I was recording content over here and I needed both hands in and I was constantly reaching, and I didn't want like something like this system here where it was like a piece of metal in front of me, preventing me from being able to grab or pick up whatever it is I want to talk about. So this just made it so much easier where I could just pick things up and I could just, hold these in my hand and I could easily, talk about whatever it is I want to talk about. All right, I just clicked on something with my mouse. Give me a second. Give me a second to fix it. Oh my goodness. All right, where did that go? Where did it go? There it is. Let me drag that. Let me drag that back. There we go. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, like I said, this comes in really handy for hands-free type of application. So if you're looking for something that's going to free up your hands, this could be a win. So definitely check this out. Right now, this is on deal. Look at the price. Look at the price. Man, the price is outstanding for what you're getting for this. So right now, this is, let me see what the price used to be. So the price used to be $32. Right now, this is $17.09, guys. $17.09. That's a win. That's a win. No matter how you look at it, it's a win. All right, so let me take this camera off. Pop this guy off as well. That's how fast it goes off. And it does have this little waist belt that you can, wrap around. That's just going to give you a little bit more stability when you're walking so that you don't have to worry about it kind of bouncing up and that kind of thing. So all of that comes, in the little kit. And like I said, real easy to assemble or disassemble. It just locks in place like that. All right. So let's put our camera back together and let's move on to the next item in the carousel. So our next item in the carousel, guys, is one of my go-to items when I do photo and video editing. So most of you guys know I edit my own photos and video. I'm a photographer. I've been a photographer over 30 plus years. So no, I don't outsource, my videos and stuff like that to anyone else. I do all the editing myself. But, over time, guys, our vision starts to diminish. It is what it is. Okay. So this product has come in very, very handy. Now, this is from our friends over at Ray Neo. These are the Ray Neo Air 3S XR glasses. And let me show you guys these real quick. So this is the case that the glasses come in. You got a nice little pocket right here for the USB cable. These are the actual glasses. Now, what these glasses do, different than these AI glasses that I'm wearing right now, these glasses give you a virtual screen. And the screen size is the equivalent of 201 inches in front of you. Now, it's only one screen with these. And the way it works is you're going to plug your device into one of the arms of the glasses using the USB cable. So let's take a quicker look, a closer look at these glasses. Now, these use the bird bath style monitors or screens. These are 1080p. You have your controls here on the arms. You have your brightness controls, your volume controls. This has 4 speakers built into it as well. You have a menu button right here. This little nose pad, they give you 2 of these, and these are adjustable. You can move them back and forward. You have a proximity sensor right here. Now, I still have the blackout tape on here, but you can actually peel this off. And if you're wearing this outdoors, it'll be just pretty much like sunglasses, and you could be outdoors gaming or something like that. Now, like I said, I use these for editing photos, editing videos, and also for entertainment. I watch movies sometimes on my iPad or on my iPhone, or you could connect this to a Mac or a PC. That's how I'm able to edit photos and video. Now, right now, you can get these guys here on Amazon, guys, for only $215.20. All right. Trust me, that is a win. I use these things every single day, every single day. So let me show you guys what they look like. I'm gonna take my Ray-Ban Meta glasses off here real quick. Put those on.
To show something.
Put those off to the side before Louis starts talking. But anyway, these just fit on pretty much like this. So this is what they look like when you're wearing them. I know it may look a little weird, if you think about it, but usually when you are doing your work or editing or consuming content, maybe you're on a plane or train or whatever it is, you don't want to be bothered. You just want to be able to sit back and watch your show, watch a live stream, watch a sporting event. You got good speakers built into this guy as well. So trust me, guys, these are a win, and they're very compact, very travel friendly. So definitely check these out. I think this is going to be a great option for a lot of content creators out there, a lot of technical people who are doing technical jobs where, you have multiple monitors and you need to be able to focus on something, whatever the case it may be. These really, really come in handy. All right, let's see what Computer Pal is saying here. Let me grab my Ray-Ban glasses. Let's see what Computer Pal is saying here. Yep. We're doing it. We're doing it. Will you be going live today, Computer Pal? Are you going to be going live today here on Amazon? Let us know so we can pop in and hang out with you on your live stream. Louis is just kind of popping around all over the place. He is so energetic right now. All right, let's did I highlight those? I probably did not highlight those. You're going live again tomorrow? Yeah, I got like 2 more lives today, and then I have a Govee stream at like I think 7:30 in the morning tomorrow, and then I have like 3 or 4 streams tomorrow as well. All right, so since we're talking about privacy as a concern. I have a MacBook or MacBook Pro, MacBook Air that I take out with me a lot of times when I'm at a coffee shop and I'm chilling and I'm working on stuff. And you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes we're reading emails that are very, sensitive, and we don't want other people to be able to, look over and read from our screen or whatever it is. So there's a product that was sent out to me. I have used something similar to this before, but let me show you guys this. I actually have this on my MacBook right now. Now, this is from a company called Acer. And basically, what these are blackout screens for your screen of your computer. So basically, at any angle other than directly in front of the computer, it will be just a flat black screen that a person would see. So I'm going to see if I can show you guys what that looks like. Let me see if I can switch to this camera angle. Is that lens dirty? I don't know. Anyway, let's switch. Let's switch over to this camera angle so you guys can see. This is the MacBook we're talking about, right? But if I come over here to the side, you guys see how the screen goes black? That's what I'm talking about. And if I bring the camera back around, now we can see. But anyone that would be over at an angle about this angle here, they won't be able to see the screen. So trust me, guys, that's a win. For your, if you're doing, like we're dealing with, agencies and companies that we deal with on a regular basis. We don't need everyone knowing what we're talking about. Sometimes, you're dealing with brands and they have you on um, contract where you can't talk about certain new products that are coming out, but you're relaxing. You're out there with your coffee, chilling, and you're doing what you do. Now, of course, it's not going to stop someone who's standing over your shoulder looking at your screen because they're looking at it from the same perspective you are. But anyone from an angle is what we're talking about. It will prevent them from being able to see it. So I think that comes in really handy. Now, these right now, you get two of them in the pack. They are $33.99, and they come in different sizes. So if you don't have a 13-inch, laptop like I have, they have 14-inch, they have a 15-inch. So you can just click on it, go to the carousel. You guys will see what I'm talking about. All right, so we don't have too many things left for this first stream, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll on through these. So the next item in the carousel is for, I think, more for safety, and that is this little jump starter. So you can get this guy here on Amazon right now, guys, for $84.99. But what's nice about this jump starter, it's not just a jump starter, it's actually a power bank, right? It also has a built-in light, and that's really cool if you're camping or if the power goes out. You have like a three-stage light with this guy as well. Now this is going to provide you with 15 volt power through this little barrel plug right here. On this side is where you'd plug in your actual little jump starters, your standard little red and black jump starters plug in right here. But on the front here, you have an additional USB A's and one USB C, two USB A's, one USB C on this guy. This is pretty much what it looks like. It is relatively compact, travel friendly. You could throw this in, an armrest. You could throw this behind the seat of your truck, in the boot of your car, whatever the case is going to be. It comes with a little case that you can keep all of your other accessories in, so you don't just have to have it loosely just flopping around in the back of the car. But I think having something like this really comes in handy because you just never know when you or someone else, a co-worker, family member, whatever it could have, some automotive problems, and they need a jump start. And you could just show up and be the hero for the day. Pop, 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 put it on, push a button, and boom, they start their car and down the road they go. You know what I'm saying? So this comes in handy. And the fact that you have this integrated light, trust me, is a win, because you never know when you're going to be in a situation when the power goes out and you're like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? Where's my flashlight? I don't know. I don't know. You never know. I like multiple use products, things that you can use for multiple things, and it's not just locked into just one specific thing. All right, so what else do we got? What else we got? We got a couple things. All right, so our next item here in the carousel, guys, is actually a portable computer. It's a mini computer. Let me show it to you guys. Oh my God, who put it way back there, Rome? Anyway, it is this little mini PC that you guys see here. Now, I'm pretty much a Mac person, but I do understand the value of a good PC, a gaming PC or editing PC. A lot of my friends still use PCs every single day. My son is an adamant PC user. He has servers, he has work computers, he has all these different things that he uses these for. So let me show you guys this guy here real quick. So this one, really nice layout. You got your two USB C's right here, one USB A, headphone jack right here in the front, power button. This has venting that goes all the way around the body of the unit. You guys can see here we have our Rayon 7 processor in here, which is pretty fast from what I'm told, for what this is supposed to be able to do. This is a gaming computer. On the back here, you guys can see we can connect up to 3 displays. We have 2 USB A's back here. We have a full-size HDMI. We have a display port. We have 2 Ethernet connections right here. And then, of course, we have our, power input for this. This also has Versa mount screws. So if you want to mount this behind a monitor, you can. Very lightweight, but it does not feel cheap or creaky. When you squeeze it, it doesn't feel like the plastic is about to give way. It has a nice weight to it. So if you guys are looking for a gaming PC, maybe a PC for guests coming over during the holiday season. You can play movies off of this. You can game with this. Gaming is probably going to be one of the main focuses for a computer like this. So whether it's high graphical games, this is a really nice little unit, guys. And when you think about what you're getting here, you got 1 terabyte. This has 1 terabyte of storage. Okay. It has 32 gig of internal DDR4 RAM on here as well. Really nice design all the way around. I think this is a great little computer for a lot of people creating content, enjoying gaming or whatever it is. Louis probably thinks he's met one of his, distant relatives or something, but you guys know what I'm saying. If you are into PCs and you're looking for a quality PC, or someone that might be, I think this would be a great option to take a look at. So right now it is $319.99 for this little guy. So let me know what you think. If you have any additional questions about it, drop them down in the comments. I will be more than happy to try to answer those questions for you. I will be live multiple times tonight. So if somehow I did not answer your questions, or somehow there's something that you're interested in that I have not talked about yet, feel free to reach out to me. If you saw it over on my storefront and you're like, Rome, can you talk about, XYZ? Can you put that in the carousel? Yeah, I'm all about that. I am a PC guy and Mac. Yes, well, I have both, PC pal. I mean, I have a PC over on my coffee table that I use sometimes just for YouTube and things like that. Macs are going to be more my workhorses when it comes to video editing, graphical work, animation, all of that kind of stuff. Photoshop, Lightroom, Capture One. When I'm shooting on location and I'm tethered to a computer, usually it's going to be a Mac because I've just had no problems with it whatsoever. All right, so let's get ready for our summertime, end of summer party time. So here is a cool little product that I think a lot of you guys might want to check out. There's a great price on it right now, $174.99, which is this Soundcore Boom 2 Plus. This thing is a beast. It's a beast, baby. So let's go ahead and turn it on. This has a bass boost button. It's got these cool little animated lights. So, it's basically a party in a box, guys. It's a party in a box. And this guy can float. So it does have an IP rating. So if you drop this in the pond or the lake or the pool, it's going to be okay. It's just going to float along, and it's just still going to be dropping that bass. It might take off depending on what it is you're listening to. You might get some boom, boom, boom. And now you got to chase this thing across the pool. But other than that, the design on here is really nice, as you guys can see. Very robust handle. It also comes with a shoulder strap. So if you're one of those people that like we used to be, Computer Pal know what I'm talking about. Back in the day, we out there breakdancing, doing our thing, on the cardboard, whatever the case it is. Popping, locking. You know what I'm talking about, bro. You know what I'm talking about. So, having something like this. Now, back in the day, that was going to be a cassette player. Eventually it evolved into CD players. But this for the most part is just a speaker that's going to connect to your phone or whatever device you want to connect it to. But you guys get the idea. Same type of aesthetic. This has some significant weight to it. So I'm gonna tell you, you will get your reps in if you're walking around carrying this thing all day. I can feel it. I can feel it in my arms as I do this right now. So this is my little workout for the day. Oh, let me turn it off. And I'm gonna tell you guys something funny. I know I don't play this thing too often, but I have never charged it. I have never charged it. The original power from the day I took it out of the box, it's still running on that original charge. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Okay. So definitely check it out. All right. So we got one more product, and I did not bring it over. So I might have to play the video for you guys here real quick. So I just reviewed this. I just set this up a couple of days ago, and it is a outdoor projector. This is a 4K supported projector. That does not mean it's going to produce a 4K image. It means it can support 4K going into it. It is 1080p for the most part, but it is a very, very sharp 1080p. It has auto focus. Basically, when you turn this, or you line this up with the wall or display or whatever you want to, it's going to automatically focus to it, and it's going to uh, control the barrel control and level itself out. Let me see if I can find my video here real quick, and I might be able to play it for you guys. I don't want you to have to watch the whole thing, so I'm just going to switch, and I'm just going to kind of show you guys what we're talking about here. Open the box, take a look at all of the things that come with it, and figure out if this is going to be the movie night projector for you. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's go. All right, guys, let's do a quick unboxing of this product and see exactly what we get. Nice little easy tab, as you guys can see here. Just pop this guy open. As you guys can see how well this is packaged. You have some additional accessories that come with it. All right, so let's take a closer look at everything that you're going to get in the box. So starting with our accessories here is our starter manual. I'm pretty sure this is going to be in multiple languages. It's going to walk you through all of the setup, cleaning cloth, and also some little Q-tips here. We have the remote control for the unit. All right, so there's our remote control. It's very lightweight. It does require batteries. As you guys see here, you're going to need two AAA batteries for this. You also receive your power cable. This is standard 2-prong cable, and you get some connection cables. This is a full-size HDMI cable. As you guys can see, we have our input for our power supply. We have our IR lens right here, USB-A. We also have a headphone jack for whatever reason. You have a full-size HDMI, and you have a power button right here. Now, this does have built-in apps for things like Netflix and YouTube, which really comes in handy. So let's go ahead and power this guy up and see exactly what it can do. And here is our power cable. Just going to plug that in as well. Give you guys a little indicator. The length of this cable is not super long, so you may need some type of extension cable depending on where you're going to be mounting this. All right, guys, let's do a quick install of our batteries. The indicators are inside of the remote, so it tells you which direction these batteries need to. Let's make sure this is powered up. We're going to this additional light. All right, guys, you should see the indicator light flashing right here. So we're going to go ahead and power this on. All right, as you guys can see, I have this extremely close to this backdrop, so that's way too close for us to be able to get an accurate indication of the language and all that other information that we're going to be able to control with the remote. So I'm going to move it further back. So you're just going to be looking at the screen here. All right, guys, so what you're looking at right now is the ability for it to autofocus and also auto align itself. So right now I am about, 5 feet away from this backdrop. So we're going to go ahead and set this up. So let's just click on Prime here. We have a few other platforms I'm not familiar with, but of course we do have Netflix. So if you're looking for a projector, guys, I think it's going to be an ideal projector for a lot of people. And I'm going to pull the camera back just so you guys can see the back of the unit. So you do have to be behind it in order to control utilizing the. All right, guys. So you guys kind of get the idea. I mean, it is a very nice outdoor projector. Of course, you can use it indoors, outdoors. It really just depends on your situation, where you want to set it up. But I am a fan of it. I'm a fan of it. I mean, I have a relatively large television in my living room. But if I didn't have that, I would have no problem whatsoever using this projector as a media source. So if you guys are looking for something, especially if you want to be doing some outdoor events, backyard movie nights and things like that, inviting the neighbors, the family and friends over, I think this could be a win. All right, we only have one thing left in the carousel. So let's go ahead and do that thing we do every stream. And that is these drawstring backpacks. You guys know I have these in every single stream. And the reason being is, of course, they can be used for a variety of things. You could use them as reusable shopping bags. You could use them as storage bags. You could use them as day trip bags, whatever you want to use them for. We use them in the Rome household and also with my affiliates and different organizations I'm affiliated with. We use these backpacks, guys, to provide items to the homeless. We source a lot of those items right here on Amazon: toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo, conditioner, hand sanitizer, pens, pencils, underwear, socks, reusable water bottles, those little sanitation tablets that you can put into water to purify the water. When we can find those little thermal blankets and all kind of stuff like that that we can find. If we can find it here on deal on Amazon, we fill these backpacks with them, and we have them with us in our vehicle. So if we run into someone, at a light or whatever the case it may be, and they're asking for help, we could just hand them one of those bags and we could get on down the road the way we do, knowing that we have brought, some light into someone's life. We've done some good in the world, and we have proven to ourselves and to maybe others who might be interested in knowing that there are still good humans in the world doing good work. So if that's you, this could be an easy way for you guys to make that happen. You can actually get those backpacks right now, guys, here on Amazon for only $8.99. You can get them in a variety of colors. You can get them in solid colors. You can do whatever you want to. I have some that we've screen printed on. We have some you can also use your heat press to put little designs on there or whatever it is you want to do with them. It's totally up to you how far along you want to go down that path. Doing good is the most important part of the goal. All right, my babies, it's time for me to wrap it up for this stream, but I will be back here in a couple of hours. And my last stream tonight will still be on schedule at 7 p.m. So I will see you all later today. And then, of course, we have our 7 p.m. stream that we're going to be doing a little bit later tonight as well. First stream tomorrow on Govee channel, 7:30 a.m. So get up, get your coffee, come hang out with your boy, and we shall be talking about some of those cool, amazing Govee lights. Y'all know how we do. All right, y'all, it's time for me to say them magic words. You know. It's time for me to say the magic words, guys, and get up out of here. Peace, and blue muffin grease. I am out. Boom, 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 my babies. I am out of here. Mwah. Love y'all, but I got to go. I'm out.